So there's some pretty bad news for Bernie Sanders in a recent poll, which says that Bernie's support among young voters has dropped significantly. Now, I hate that I have to do this sometimes multiple times in one show, but as a reminder, I am just the messenger here, okay? I didn't do this poll. I'm not anti-Bernie. I like Bernie. He's one of my top candidates for 2020. I voted for him in the 2016 primary. I'm telling you the news, which is what this poll is asserting. I am not the person that you should attack simply for telling you that this is a poll that has been released. Now, these numbers are from a new Morning Consult poll. Bernie has been super strong in the 18 to 29 age bracket. And in the same poll, Morning Consult, back in February, Bernie had support from 46% of those aged 18 to 29. In March, almost the same. He still had 45% of 18 to 29-year-olds supporting him. This number has now dropped to 33% in May. That's a reduction of more than 25% in the support from young people. So the obvious question is, who is that 18 to 29-year-old cohort moving towards in the 2020 Democratic primary? And the answer is maybe surprising to some in our audience because a bunch of that support has moved over to Joe Biden. And I know many in our audience will say and have been saying, David, only old people are supporting Joe Biden. And it's true that Joe Biden has disproportionate support from older voters. But according to this poll, Joe Biden has gone from under 20% support from 18 to 29-year-olds up to 24% in the latest survey. Elizabeth Warren has also increased her support. She's gone from around 5% support from 18 to 29-year-olds in March up to more like 10% now. And that's the majority or a significant portion, rather, of the support that Bernie has lost from that age group. So let's go through it. First of all, are there any glaring methodology issues which would suggest that the poll results are just completely wrong? Nothing obvious that I was able to find when I looked at it. The next question is, will it matter if there's been a shift in 18 to 29-year-old support from Bernie to Warren and from Bernie to Biden if 18 to 29-year-olds don't show up to vote? And what I mean by that is that historically, older voters are much more reliable voters, whereas young voters are less likely to vote once Election Day actually arrives. And once we think about that, we have to ask, why is it that some of the 18 to 29-year-olds who were supporting Bernie Sanders a month ago, 2 months ago, why have they moved on to someone else? And why would it be Biden? And why would it be Elizabeth Warren? When it comes to Biden, it's not likely to be over Biden's politics specifically. I mean, Biden is very moderate. He is very much in the line of Hillary Clinton, not drastically different from, you know, a 1970s moderate Republican in many ways. But I think it's undeniable that Biden's perceived association with the Obama presidency, around which people on the older end of 18 to 29 may remember positively and have some nostalgia for, particularly when you look at who's in the White House right now. When it comes to some of that Bernie 18 to 29-year-old support shifting to Elizabeth Warren, there is a contingent that liked Elizabeth Warren in 2016, but ended up with Bernie as sort of the closest person to Warren that they actually had a chance to vote for during the 2016 primary. They may simply be reinvigorated by the fact that Elizabeth Warren's campaign is getting more attention in the last 4 to 6 weeks. It's been picking up some polling steam. And my message, if you want Bernie to win, is very simple. Don't react to this story by don't react by attacking me, because that will do nothing to help Bernie Sanders win. Don't react by attacking Joe Biden or whoever. Go and volunteer for Bernie's campaign and make the case to people who are already on the left that you believe Bernie is their best option from those that are available. Remember that a spirited primary, a healthy disagreement within the primary, it's not a bad thing, even if Bernie Sanders is losing support, because my guess is that in the end, most Warren supporters, if Bernie's the nominee, are going to vote for Bernie. OK, most Bernie supporters, if Warren is the nominee, are going to vote for Elizabeth Warren. Whether they all would vote for Joe Biden if Biden's the nominee, I'm a little bit more concerned about. But the point is, it's OK for the progressive contingent to be sort of divided at this point in time. We've seen, as I predicted would happen, as soon as Joe Biden announced his candidacy, the establishment support has coalesced around him. So Beto has been dropping. Cory Booker has been dropping. And that establishment centrist wing has been seriously just joining Joe Biden effectively. And that's why his poll numbers are doing well. The progressive vote is still very much more split between candidates. And it doesn't really necessarily tell us what it is that's going to happen once the Democratic primary is settled. I think most of those voters who now are split are going to come over to the Democratic nominee almost no matter who it is. I will put it that way. And maybe we'll dig into what I mean by that on an upcoming show.